Our next guest, ladies and gentlemen, is our community spotlight. And this is sponsored by Gateway Bank. Gateway Bank is one of the great legacy institutions in our town. They're always great community partners. We appreciate them. For the last 10 years, they've been working hard in our community to establish a really great reputation. So thank you to Gateway Bank. And they are allowing us today to talk with one of the great human service providers in our community. Please join me in welcoming Tracy Leonard-Warner, representing the Ryan House. Tracy. Hi. Welcome.
Morning.
Welcome. So, Tracy, I was fascinated to learn more about Ryan House. This is a very compelling organization. Thank you so much for the good work you're doing. For those who don't know, tell us what Ryan House is.
We provide respite, palliative, and hospice care for kids from 0 to 18. And respite care is a chance for really our families to get the respite. Our kids all have life-limiting illnesses, and so care for our kids is 24/7. A lot of our families have basically become their nursing staff. And so in order for those families to have a break and rest and rejuvenate and maybe spend time as a couple or with other siblings, those kids can come stay at our house. We have a full nursing staff, and stays are usually 48 hours to 7 days. Our families get up to 28 days a year, absolutely free to use however they need to.
Wow. I mean, I'm sure, yeah. I'm sure I know several families that fall into that category. I think we all know families with severely disabled children or children that have end-of-life scenario ailments, and we all know how difficult that is for the families, and how respite care is essential because it's a 24/7 experience for those caregivers, and that just can't, that's not sustainable. Right. You have to have some assistance like this.
Right.
And when they have to go out of town on some sort of emergency or some sort of trip, you know, there's no answer to that situation without someone like you.
Yeah, and you know, our families use us in all different ways. You know, we really do encourage them to have their child stay with us so that they get that break. Last summer, one of our kids stayed with us for the week so that mom could take her older brother on college tours, something that a lot of us kind of take for granted. You know, this little girl does not travel well. She has a seizure disorder, so traveling long car trips, plane, is just not possible. And so stayed with us, had a wonderful time. I can tell you a little bit about what we have at the house too. But then gave brother a chance to kind of do those normal things that most 17, 18-year-old kids are getting to do. So
that's great. That's amazing. Do you have an event coming up that we can learn more about and perhaps find a way to support you?
We absolutely do. October 6th, we're going to be at Mesa Riverview Park. We have a 5K and a family fun run. The 5K starts at 8:30 in the morning, and the family fun run starts at 9:30. Some of us will be there at 4 a.m. if anybody wants to come out and help set up. But I always joke, you know, we call it a run for Ryan House, but a lot of people will be walking, so don't feel like you have to run. There will be strollers, wheelchairs, dogs, everything imaginable. So come out, join us. If you can't join us, you can go to the Run for Ryan House website and sign up as a virtual runner if you don't want to come out that morning. And I promise you really don't have to come at 4 a.m. Yeah, it's a great way for the community to support our families and for the families to be there. So a lot of our families will be there. A lot of our families will put together teams of family and friends. It's a nice event for a lot of our hospice families who have lost a child at the house, because they have friends and family who come out to support, and a nice way to remember their child and celebrate their life.
Well, that's great. I suspect a lot of people are going to be interested in helping your organization, and when they hear about what good work you're doing, they're going to be compelled to get involved. Other than running in this event, I mean, do you need volunteers, or how can someone, now that they know about you, what can they do to support you other than this event?
Absolutely. So our website is ryanhouse.org, and there are a multitude of ways to support the house. We utilize volunteers in the house working with our kids. We call them our care team volunteers. There's an orientation that you go through to learn more about the house and more about our kids, and it's a commitment of about 4 hours a week. And so we've got clinical volunteers, but we also use volunteers for events. We have some amazing volunteers who come and help in our administrative office. We've got the cutest couple who come and are scanning the last 8.5 years of our files so that we don't have to store those and we can go digital. So there's always things to do. We also, along with our care partner, Hospice of the Valley, provide a bereavement group for families who have lost a child. And it's not just open to our families, but any family in the community. And during the school year, it runs every other Monday. And we're always looking for community groups to come in and cook dinner for those families. Wow. So we kick off the evening with a nice home-cooked meal. We have about 70 or 80 participants. So we're looking for groups to come in Central Phoenix and kind of cook. And then families have a support group where kids, siblings will have their own group and parents have their own group as well.
Well, thank you, Tracy. This has been fascinating. I think there's a lot of people out there that do have 4 hours a week, or they have capacity to get involved in a lot of the ways you just described, and we are looking forward to being a great big supporter for Ryan House. Thank you for the good work that you're doing.
We appreciate that.
You bet. Thank you very much.